But I was there when James Phillips and A.B. Tauber had a dispute. James T. Phillips went and got a Greek ship to come here. A.B. Tauber went and got a brand new French ship to come here. And so this competition was whether the Greeks or the French were going to win. So we went to the organizational meeting and it was being discussed. It was never concluded. And suddenly it was announced that the Greek ship had been rewarded the contract. It means that Phillips Company or Phillips Group that he was supporting had won the contract over A.B. Tauber Group. I'm telling you all of this to tell you what went into weakening the system. The system didn't fall because somebody from outside just pushed the system. The system fell from inside. The same way the door system were going to fall anyway. If nobody had brought war here, it would have gone downhill. And I got the story, and I'm going to tell the story. Phillips paid his people in advance for the ship. A.B. got concerned that Phillips had done something that was out of order because the whole bidding system had not gone through. So when you look in the new Liberian newspaper, in the government newspaper, there was a banner headline that Phillips had received bribe for the ship. The story was carried by a guy called Afroman UO Canada, Alex Best, and all these older people that would know Canada. So Peel, Minister Jenkins Peel, who was a Minister of Information, he's still alive in America. His son works as head of the Freeport Police. You can get in contact with him and double check it. Peel went to a cabinet meeting and came back very furious, very furious. He came back and said, Bowier, I said, you see how the people want to put me in trouble? I said, what happened? He said, you saw the headline about Phillips? I said, yes, sir. How could they publish that kind of thing? The president is now asking me, how could they publish that kind of thing about a fellow colleague in the cabinet? The president is behind me for this. So I got to get to the bottom of this. Call that Afroman here. Afroman was somebody who came from Nigeria and became Liberian and all like that. So you know that's a prejudice there too. So go call that man Costa here. I want to call him. Costa mean people who come from down the coast. Okay, that's how they used to call them. So Canada came and Peel asked him, who gave you this story? Who did this? Who did that? And Canada said, I cannot disclose my source to you. Peel said, what? He said, but Mr. P, you went to school, you got a master's degree in journalism, and you know the journalist cannot disclose his source. P said, let me tell you something. This one here did no journalism. You tell me who did this, or you be dismissed. So I said, Minister P, could I go and talk with him for a while? He said, yes. So I took Mr. Canada into my office, the special assistant office, and I sat him down. I said, you know what happened? We know you're not supposed to disclose your source, but there is a time for everything. There's a time for you to tell us the truth, because the president of Liberia is behind the minister, thinking that the minister is behind this thing. So who gave you this story? He said, you see the president behind it? I said, yeah, the president is concerned. He said, no, the president can't be concerned. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, oh, but A.B. brought me this story and said he passed him or published the story so he can deal with Phillips. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. Can you repeat this in front of Minister Peel? He said, yeah. So let's go by in there. Went by in the office. I said, Minister Peel? He said, yeah. I said, I want to inform you that the new Liberian will stand by his story because our source is unimpeachable. He said, Bowier, what do you mean by that? Then I gave him the whole deal. He said, oh, that's what they want to do with me. He picked up the telephone, I'll write a call. Mr. President, he said, yes, I want to let you know that we stand by this story because our source is unimpeachable. And he put the phone down. I said, what happened? He said, the president just put the phone down. So once you trace it back to the source, the whole case died. The next week, Philip resigned. And Ellen Sirleaf was made finance minister. So Ellen Sirleaf was not made finance minister because she gave True Whig Party money. She was made finance minister because Phillips and A.B. had a fuss, and Phillips got a worse end of the stick, and they needed to put somebody there. And Tauber had called Ellen back, and she was principal deputy in line to succession.